The 2022 Land Rover Defender. This is a machine that can do it all, from the highways to the mountains, and from the mountains to the deepest deserts. This car can handle any terrain with absolute ease. Today, we're going to put it through our signature brutal tests to see if it can make it out alive. Make sure to stay with me until the very end of the video. We're starting off with the acceleration and braking test. Since this car doesn't have a specific sport mode, we're leaving it in comfort mode. 3, 2, 1, go. Wow, what a launch. For a car that weighs nearly 2 tons, it's moving. And yes, it managed to hit 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.6 seconds. Now for the brake test. Unbelievable. It managed to bring that heavy weight from 100 kilometers per hour to a dead stop in just 34 meters. That is absolutely extraordinary. I'm genuinely shocked by how well it performed. If you love this car as much as I do, definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching this far. Next up, the suspension test. We're not going to take it easy on this car. Since it's an off-road legend, these tests should be a walk in the park, right? First, we hit the rough terrain. As you can see, it cleared this ground easily. A few bumps are just a joke to this car. Now we move to the high-pressure terrain. This is putting massive stress on the suspension and sending serious shocks through the cabin, which is exactly what we expected. Now for the cobblestone/deep bump path. This should be a bit easier, and yeah, it's gliding through much more comfortably. So far, the suspension is looking top-notch. But then we hit the urban speed bumps. Whoa, the car is practically flying. That was strange. It might be due to the relatively high speed, but generally speaking, this car doesn't have a very soft suspension feel here, and I'm not sure why. If you know why the Defender feels stiff on these bumps, definitely let me know in the comments. Now let's move on to the handling test. This could be tough for the Defender because it's a heavy body-on-frame SUV. I didn't want to be too hard on it, so I started at 56 kilometers per hour. Unfortunately, it failed the first few tries. It was really starting to disappoint me until it finally managed to pass one run at that speed. I thought I'd push it just a tiny bit more to 58 kilometers per hour, but at that speed, the car completely lost control. It simply couldn't finish the test above 56 kilometers per hour. We definitely have to mark this as a weak point for the Defender. Time for the safety tests. We're starting with roof strength and the crusher. We put the car under the crusher. 3, 2, 1. The pressure is mounting. Let's see the limit. Wow, 60,000 newtons. This is an incredibly good number. It's actually a record for our tests. I have really high expectations for the rest of the safety rounds now. As you can see, the pillars didn't even bend, and even the glass stayed intact. Phenomenal. I'm so happy with this result, I can barely speak. Now for the rollover test. Whoa, that was a brutal hit. Especially since this car is so heavy, the impact was massive. The passenger side pillar bent, but looking closely, there's no real injury to the occupants. Both the passenger and driver doors open easily. The dummy's hand is caught a little bit in the door here. I'm not sure what to do about that, but the car is structurally sound. With those results, let's head into the main crash tests. Round 1, head-to-head collision. 2 Defenders, different colors, hitting each other at 64 kilometers per hour. Externally, both cars look great, they held up well. But inside, the situation isn't great. The main issue seems to be the seats. They bend way too easily, as if they have no structural strength at all. This causes the passengers to fly forward violently. In the real world, you'd really be relying on the airbags here. Round 2, trailer rear-end collision, hitting the back of a trailer at 50 kilometers per hour. From the outside, the performance is solid, no major complaints. Inside, however, you can really notice the lack of airbags in this simulation. In the real 2022 Defender, there are 100 airbags to cover this, but without them, those weak seats are a problem. Round 3, rear impact test. The car performed beautifully here. The passengers took no specific damage, and everything was ideal. Round 4, side impact test. This is our toughest challenge. The car gave a decent performance, but honestly, it wasn't what I expected. My expectations for the Defender are higher than other cars because it's such a powerful off-roader. It was okay, but I wanted more. Round 5, 50% offset frontal crash, hitting the barrier at 64 kilometers per hour. It showed a relatively good performance. Final verdict on safety. If this car has all its airbags functioning like in the real world, it's a 5-star safety rating. But if the airbags weren't there, it would get the worst score possible because the seats are so weak. I hope it's just a mod issue. Final test. Full frontal collision. This is easier because the pressure is distributed. The car did well, but again, we see that seat bending issue. That's it for the Defender. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Until the next video, goodbye for now.